All right. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing out there?
Good.
Good. All right. So here we are, week 7, coming in strong. You guys are halfway done, which is awesome with this class. So let's kick it off and start talking about, one second, I'm just gonna mute everybody, then we know the routine. All right, cool, sorry. All right, so here we are, week 7. Probably one of my favorite topics, as well as Chef Greg. He and I have become, we were always lovers of offal, but I think with this class, have found even a deeper appreciation for it. So before we get into that, however, let's talk a little bit about this past week. Some important conversations we need to have regarding recipes, following recipes, paying attention to recipes. These are very important things, especially being 5 weeks, 6 weeks away from externship. All right. If you're not following a recipe, chef in the kitchen is not going to be too happy with you, right? So what does that mean? Before you start any cooking, read the recipe twice, all right? Jot down your quick to-do notes. Boom, 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 right? Mise en place, boiled steamed potatoes. Oh, ding, 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 hello, boil or steam. That is numero uno in the recipe. However, many of you slice and or dice those potatoes, or they went in the water. Now, what happens when we slice or dice potatoes and we put them in the water? What happens to that water? What gets released into the water?
Starch.
Starch. Yep, you got it. Awesome. Right. So if all that starch is getting released into the water, that means it's not going to end up in your final dish. Right? Which can be great if that's what you're looking for, but not when you're making a potato salad, right? You need those potatoes to hold some shape, some structure. Otherwise, they're going to break down because you've created all this extra surface area, right? When you have a whole potato that's going in the water or steaming, you're not exposing the entire potato to water, all right? I mean, you're exposing it to more to heat them. You're not having all this extra exposed surface area. So, just pay attention, all right?
Jeff, can I say something?
Yes.
I explained on my narrative that was the first time that I actually steamed potato for potato salad. I normally boil it.
Yes.
But I found out that with steaming it, it holds the shape much better. And it wasn't mushy.
Boom.
You know, and it wasn't falling apart.
You got it, Deborah.
I won't boil them no more.
Cool. That's good. That's great. That is a perfect observation, right? It held together a bit more, especially steaming. Steaming is different than boiling. They're both going to be good, but steaming really changes what's happening to that potato, how it's cooking. It's not submerged in water. Steam, remember, vapors, that's hotter than boiling water. Steam. Okay? So, Chef Greg, did you want to talk a little bit about peeling potatoes?
I do. So when we're peeling potatoes, go back a minute. So when we're in a restaurant and you're in charge and you own it, or you're the executive chef and you're buying potatoes, you're paying by the pound. So you're buying the skins, you're buying the eyes if there are any, you're buying the rotted ones, the good ones, you're buying those potatoes by the pound. So if you're peeling potatoes, let's say for mashed potatoes, you want to maximize the amount of potato that's going into that dish. So that means you want to take the least amount of skin off of it. So when you're peeling a potato for something, you have to think, what are you using it for? So the really the goal of last week was to take something like potato skins, potato peels, that would regularly, you're just peeling it, honestly, a lot of times over the garbage can, and that would be thrown out. However, if you're peeling it with a peeler, you're going to get really close. You're going to have just the skin. If you peel it with a paring knife and you're getting a lot of that flesh on that potato, that's really just product you're throwing away. So every couple of potatoes, you may have to peel an extra potato just to have the amount that you needed. So you pretty much just threw away a potato every 6, threw away a potato every 12. So I made a little presentation, and I'll go through it quick. It's not a requirement or anything, and it is a lot of math. But that's kind of the point, just to show how detrimental that peeling 50 pounds of potatoes could be to your business, because this would be directly out of your pocket if you own the business. So, all right. So one of the students in class said that she had 6.4 ounces of potato peels, and she peeled 12 potatoes, Red Bliss. She peeled them with a peeler. So if we had the size that she was doing, there's about 7 potatoes per pound, about 350 per case. So that's about 2.29 ounces of potato. So in a 50-pound case, there's 800 ounces. If there's $25 per the case of potato, that's 3 cents per ounce of potato. So now we're starting to dig into your pocket. So per waste, that's 19 cents of waste per 12 potatoes. And there's 350 in a case. So each potato has a little over half an ounce of waste. So if there was 350 and we had a half an ounce of waste, we have 185.5 ounces of waste for 1 case of potato. So that's 77% of potatoes you're getting. That's out of a 50-pound case. So if the potatoes were 50 cents a pound and you had 11.5 pounds of waste, you're throwing away $5.80 if you peel them with a peeler. Now, this is a generous observation, but let's say you did it with a paring knife and you had really good knife skills and you're only wasting twice as much. Now, a potato peel is about this thick. So this is just for 2 times. If you had 2 times the amount for a paring knife, it would be 23 pounds, 23.18 pounds. That's $11.59. This is a 50-pound case of potatoes. And if you were just throwing them away and not using them, really have no purpose except for to peel the potato, you would throw away almost half of your case of potatoes just for peeling with a paring knife. In comparison, however, if you bought a peeler, like those little plastic ones, they come in different colors, just a basic peeler, that's $3. That's under a case of potatoes. That's 3/4 of a case. It's about 280 potatoes you would have paid for that peeler in 1 case, in under 1 case. So when you're in business, really every ounce counts. And last week was a great example of something that just honestly regularly is always thrown out. You just peel it over the garbage, you put it in the bucket of water. Peel it over the garbage, put it in a bucket of water. However, if you're doing that with a paring knife, if you're not checking all that waste at all times, you could be throwing away almost half of your product. If you had to peel 300 pounds of potatoes that week, which isn't unrealistic, you're throwing away like 120 pounds of it just in peeling potato waste. So you just really, really have to be careful and think about, now's the time, put everything that you're doing. What if it's my food truck? It's my restaurant. I'm the food and beverage director. I'm the executive chef. I'm the whatever you would like to be. So just start to put that into reality, and you'll see it's kind of crazy. So if you're paying for those potatoes out of your pocket and you have a line cook peeling them with a paring knife and he's just whacking off 1/2 inch, 1/4 of an inch every time, he's throwing away a lot of your money.
Awesome. Thank you, Chef.
Yep.
Additionally, we showed in the live session last week exactly that example of what type of waste comes from when you use a paring knife to peel a potato. So, again, comes to paying attention, right? If we look at the recipe, there were some comments about too much paprika. Well, if you didn't reduce the amount of paprika in your recipe, but you did not utilize all of the I think it was required of 1.5 pounds worth of peels from potatoes. And if you only peeled 2 potatoes, you're going to need to reduce that. Again, we talked about this last week about reducing ratios. If you're reducing the size of your recipe, you have to reduce everywhere. You don't put in 5 tablespoons of salt to a cup of water, right? So when you're changing recipes on your own, that's fine. You need to make sure that you're doing the calculations on that. Otherwise, you're going to botch a bunch of recipes. You're going to create more food waste. The whole topic was food waste. Additionally, we talked about garnish. We want nice height. We wanted something light and crispy on top of that potato salad, not big wedges, right? So again, thinking about presentation, thinking like a chef. All right. Additionally, one last thing. You're never really going to see people using a paring knife to peel potatoes in a restaurant. It's just not, it's not fast enough. Unless you're like crazy pro and you're reducing no waste. Otherwise, it's a peel this quickly. Flip it. Otherwise, what are you doing? This with your paring knife? You're not being effective. You're not being efficient in the kitchen. And that's okay. We're all in culinary school, right? That's okay. But it's about paying attention. If you made that, you know, did that, then you want to analyze the narrative like, hey, maybe this wasn't right. If you thought there was too much, something was wrong with the recipe, maybe you should go back and analyze that recipe. Could I have made something wrong? Oh, there are definitely times where a recipe is going to be off, for sure. Mistakes happen. However, go back to your main recipe. Did I mess something up? Did I measure incorrectly? Did I put in half a cup of milk when it was called for half a cup of heavy cream? How did that change it, right? Constantly substituting or adjusting. You need to be calculating. You need to be using that internal chef gut that we talked about last week as well. All right? Does anybody have any questions regarding food waste or following recipes? Didn't think so. Not with this crew on the screen. All right. Let's hop in to the week at hand. All right. So, does anybody here know what offal is? O-F-F-A-L. Michelle does. Deborah does. Anybody else? Courtney does. All right.
Yep.
Does anybody like offal?
Oxtail soup's not bad.
There we go. I hear Blake coming in about oxtail soup. Yeah. Offal.
Liver not bad. Liver and onions.
Liver and onions. Liver and onions. What else?
Chitlins are good.
What's that?
He said chitlins.
Chitlins is good too.
Chitlins
When I
are
was
good too.
little, I ain't ate them in years.
What about, who's ever had fried chicken? Sorry, Deborah, what?
I say tripes are good, depends on how you cook them.
Tripe's good too. Yeah, you're right. So we're talking about tripe. We're talking about liver. Who's ever had chicken hearts? Yeah, we got some fingers. Screwed on, put it on a bamboo skewer, grilled, put a little sauce on that. Delicious. Who's ever had gravy? Anybody had gravy made with those chicken innards, right? Giblets and everything? Yeah. All right. What about sausages, hot dogs, bologna? Who likes that? Yeah, guess what? That's full of offal. That's just packed full of offal. That's all the offal there is. Because it's all ends and bits that don't get used anywhere else. Let's climb that up, spit it out. Let's see what else out there. Who's ever had chicharrones or cracklins, fried pork skin, fried chicken skin?
Yep.
Delicious, right? Crispy, crunchy, fatty, awesome. This goes on and on and on about offal.
Well, your breakfast sausage.
What, breakfast sausage?
Your breakfast sausage links. The links.
Yeah, depending upon how that breakfast sausage is prepared, it could have offal in it. What about the casing? What about natural casing for any of these sausages? Do you guys know where the casing comes from?
Intestines.
Intestines, yeah. All right. So guess what, guys? We've been eating offal all of our lives for the most part. Maybe we didn't know it. So, don't judge a book by its cover. all right? Just because maybe you think, woo, what are we talking about? Heart, liver, stomach, tripe, lungs, brain, feet, tails, skin. That's good stuff. What would happen if we didn't use any of those byproducts? Where would they go?
Waste.
Go to waste, right? Thrown out, just like we were talking about those potato skins, right? If we're throwing all of that out, what does that do to the cost of our meat, our muscle meat, right? Our pork butt, our chicken breasts. Increases the price. Yeah, it goes up, Carrie. Yeah, because now you've thrown away that waste, just like what Chef Greg was demonstrating. When you're throwing that waste away, now that price of that meat's going up. Price of potatoes is going up. Utilization, right? So, offal is technically, it has been expanded for terms, but essentially all the innards, all right, organs that are edible, as well as feet, skin, ears, head, certain parts that would normally be thrown out or looked at as waste.
I was going to say head cheese.
Head cheese, yeah. Oh. We're going to talk about head cheese.
My favorite.
That's Chef's favorite.
Or my favorite.
So, got all these great products. You've got, who's ever heard of foie gras? Anybody know what foie gras is? Right. Foie gras is a French delicacy, a fattened liver of the duck, right? That is pumped full of, they're eating, their liver becomes engorged and fatty, and it is delectable. It is, if you ever get a chance to see it on the menu, give it a whirl, give it a try. I'm gonna show you some photos of foie gras right now, so you can start to get excited. It's always usually pretty much in upscale restaurants, but let's just take a look at this. Boom, foie gras. All right. Pate, right? Force meat. That's seared foie gras right there. Little terrine. What else do we have? They come in lobes, okay? This is considered a foie gras lobe, right? That's the liver. And then it's prepared in all these ways. It's creamy. It's fatty. It's smooth texturally. Just really wonderful. So if you ever get the opportunity, check this out at a restaurant. Okay, it's never cheap, but it's worth the experience. All right. I'm going to talk to you a bit more about offal and what's going on. Now, back in the day, right? What does this class always revert back to? We go back to old techniques, right? Preservation, what was locally sourced? How do we become more profitable? What's local? What's sustainable? So, who's ever heard of the term nose to tail cooking? All right, got a few people. Nose to tail. So what do we think that means? We're using everything there's some other ways to phrase it. You should look it up. They're pretty funny.
From the rooter to the tootie.
There you go, from the rooter to the tutor. That's right, all right? I've heard some other things too, all right? So that's what it is. It's everything. Because guess what? All of that product is valuable. Fried sweetbreads. Sweetbreads are the glands, okay? They're predominantly from veal sweetbreads. Glands like the thymus and different organs within the young veal that when fried, oh my goodness, again, just another delicacy. The texture of tripe, really unctuous and soft, lovely. Now, all of these organs have a stronger flavor profile than the general cuts of meat that we're used to. They are loaded with iron, vitamins, minerals. They're really healthy for us. They give a boost to the system. What about bone marrow? Anybody ever heard of bone marrow? Yeah, it's good stuff.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Is roasted bone marrow that considered offal?
Pardon me?
Is roasted bone marrow considered that also? That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah,
Yep.
that would play into the category, right? Because that would normally be a product that's just tossed away. Okay? I'm going to show a few photos so we can start to get excited about offal, and then we're going to dig into it a little bit. But it's unreal. Also, you guys were just in cuisines of the world, right? Guess what? Start looking into cuisines, different cultures. Offal is everywhere. Everywhere. Go to American Southern cuisine. Offal. Prominent. Flavor. Cost effective. Guess what else? What's trending? 2018, 2019, 2017. Offal finally getting back on menus. It was gone. Do you know why? Because the perception was that offal was low quality, inexpensive, cheap cut, that nobody wants. I have money to buy a chunk of meat, a muscle meat. I'm going to spend my money to that because I don't need to eat offal anymore. Guess what? Missing out. Missing out on flavor and vitamins and nutrients. Also, very cost effective. So, Alicia, I'll come to you in a second. I want to show some photos, all right? Because this is where it gets fun. Also, there's about 35 different types of offal, all right? Here's 21. We've got some brain right there. Brain's actually really good. Kind of tastes like soft scrambled eggs. Beef cheek. All right. This is what I'm saying. This is kiddie offal. It is. It is. This is like your baby step into the offal world. But cheeks aren't used as often. Chicken liver. We're going to be using chicken liver this week, okay? You can make it a pate. You can sear it. You can fry it. Chicharrones, that's that pig skin I was talking about. Sweetbreads, okay? The thymus, pancreas. There's oxtail. I think Portley or Blake was talking about oxtail soup. Beef tongue. Tongue is amazing. Takes a while to prepare, but it's delicious. It's worth it. Calf's liver. Classic French dish. Calf's liver with bacon and onions. Oh, yeah. Pig's tails. Bone marrow. Kidney. Trotter. Heart. Ear. Ear's really good, prepared the right way. Duck tongue. Duck tongue's pretty awesome. Lungs. I've definitely never had lungs, but I've heard of people. Chef Tyson actually cooked lung this past Christmas. There's tripe. Looks like honeycomb, right? It also looks like morel mushrooms, if you're familiar with that. Pig snout, duck heart. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on, all right? Let's check this out. Tacos de lengua. That's the tongue, all right? You ever see that on a little taco stand? Give yourself a go at it. Try it. You won't even, if you didn't know that it was tongue, it tastes like you're just eating meat. Tongue is just a muscle, right? Just a muscle. That's it. It's not even anything creepy, right? Like some of the other ones, like, oh, I'm eating somebody's liver, right? Tongue is just muscle. Liver's an organ. I get it. But tongue is just a muscle. Menudo. This features tripe. It's a Mexican classic. Really delicious, savory. Okay? I mean, this stuff looks great, right? Then we've got tripa alla fiorentina, a classic Italian dish. Slow cooked, braised lovingly with tomato sauce. This stuff melts in your mouth. It's heaven.
Where's the haggis?
Oh, we'll get there. I'm going to also show you, who's ever heard of blood sausage, boudin noir? Guess what? Almost every single country has a blood sausage. Your contents and the coarseness and the ingredients of your blood sausage will vary. Look at this right up the top, right? You've got blood sausage from Argentina, Spanish, German, English, Puerto Rican, Irish, black pudding, Polish, Portuguese. Where else? Where else can we get it from? Oh, Colombian, Hungarian, Mexican, Italian, Estonian. Because guess what? When you slaughter a pig, an animal, you've got a lot of blood, right? You drain all that blood off, now you can utilize it. What's blood full of? Iron. Okay? Here's some more chicharrón. No, here are your chicken hearts. Grilled, right? This is just meat. it's just that when we hear it in a certain way, it becomes foreign to us for some people, right? Like, I don't know if I want to eat that. But man, this is your baby step into the world, into offal world too. Fried chicken livers tastes like it's just like a stronger flavor profile, like a really kind of gamey chicken thigh, all right, with a little extra on it, okay? So there's just some photos to get you excited. Chef Greg, did you want to talk about some of your favorites?
Well, we got to talk about head cheese at least.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Let's hear
Yeah,
it.
talk about head cheese. Where did my screen go? Okay, so head cheese, Blake already brought it up, but you just take the whole pig's head, and you soak it in vinegar, you soak it in water, rinse it off a little bit, and then you just boil it all day. You boil it, and it leaves you with this amazing loaf of heaven. So this is just all the gelatin from the collagen, from the eyeballs, the ears, the brains, teeth, all of that collagen. And you get this just beautiful, beautiful piece of head cheese. We did talk about blood. This is goose blood soup, a Polish soup, but it looks just like beef stew. It tastes like a really rich stew. It's delicious. Pig's bladder, not necessarily something that you would eat directly, but you put items into the pig's bladder. You seal it. You cook it. It kind of looks like a crazy dinosaur egg, but it just adds in all that deliciousness of the pig inside. We got to talk about a little seafood, of course. Crab butter. Lobsters have the same thing, but the interior of that crab, when you break back up the shell, it has that orange, that butter in it. These are pickled just to show how bright it can be, but this is absolutely delicious. And then this one's kind of a mix, but caviar, fish eggs, something we think about, maybe it just gets thrown out. This is called golden asteria caviar. This is $120 an ounce. People are paying for offal. So in other countries, it's not rare. It's a delicacy, like Chef said. There's only so much tripe. There's only so much stomach lining in a cow. There's all those other pieces of meat, but there's only one calf's brain inside the calf. So in a lot of other countries, offal is definitely more of a delicacy than America. It's something we kind of just push aside, but it's just a delicious, beautiful thing. That's all I have to say.
Awesome.
You have a couple hands up, Chef.
Yeah, I saw Alicia was up first, I believe. Yeah, Alicia.
Sorry, change the subject. Just was wondering when you said we got 5 weeks left, should we have a job before 5 weeks?
Do you have a what before 5 weeks?
Should we have a job for the externship in 5 weeks?
You need to locate a job for externship, yes.
I'm gonna type in the career services
Thank you, Chef.
email in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are looking or having trouble or difficulty locating an externship site, please contact career services. We literally have an entire team that is just here for that, to help you locate a job. They're going to give you leads. They're going to find out where you live, in which region you are, and then help you focus on finding an establishment to work at that's approved. Then you get your paperwork, and bing, 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 and then you're good to go. Amber.
Something that Blake said about haggis. Is it technically against the law to import haggis into the United States, or is that all a myth?
No, that's true.
Okay, making sure. I heard it's something about it, sheep's stomach or something or other. Or, I don't know.
It's not all the parts of haggis. It's just the chemicals that the body produces for stomach lining.
Oh, okay. So
doesn't transport amazingly well, so that's why it's illegal to import it. Because by the time it gets here, it can become toxic.
The more you know.
There you go.
Haggis is good though.
If you can get it fresh,
True.
you're good.
Yeah, true.
You just got to know the right people.
What's that, Blake?
I said you just got to know the right people
There you
to
go.
get it fresh.
There you go. This is true. So, there are a lot of myths to debunk around offal, right? That offal is this, I don't know, scary, crazy thing. Give it a go, right? As chefs, you must be open okay, to trying new things. It doesn't mean you have to like it. Not at all. Everybody has their own tastes and flavor preferences, texture preferences. But it means you should try it. Give it a go. If you don't like it, try it one more time. All right? Because the first bite, maybe it's you have something caught up in your head. The second, give it another bite. Try everything once, twice, just to see. Because if we close our mind to things, then we lose the option to learn more, how to prepare it perhaps in a different way. Chicken livers, for example. We're going to be preparing that and turning it into chicken liver pate this week. What? Maybe you say, you know, I didn't like that chicken liver pate, but I love fried chicken livers. Okay, that's a perfect example. Now, what else do we think might be really, really important when we're talking about preparing offal? What do you all think is the most important thing?
Cleaning.
Cleaning, yes. What's the second most important thing?
Properly cooking it.
Boom, that's it. Preparation, technique. So just like you have certain cuts of meat, right? We all know that some cuts of meat are made for braising. Others can take a quick fry, otherwise can take a pan sear. Same like vegetables. Some do better with boiling versus steaming, saute. So true is for offal. There are very important steps when preparing and getting offal ready for consumption, whether it's cleaning or soaking in milk to draw out some of the flavor, okay? Livers are often soaked in milk to pull some of that harshness out, all right? I mean, the liver, remember, processes everything. So it's got a little something on it. So you want to put it in milk so it draws some of that out. Other ingredients will need to be boiled before you can do anything with it because they're so tough. Intestines for cleaning, properly cleaning. Gotta make sure, I mean, hey, we all know what the intestines do, right? Part of the digestive tract. You better make sure those little guys are clean. All right? Blake, yeah.
Well, isn't it tongue that you have to boil first to get the membrane off before you can even do anything with it?
Yes, you do have to do that with tongue as well. So many pieces of offal. And that's what people will say, whoa, it takes a long time to prepare offal. And it does. That is part of the reason why they also fell out of trend. Nobody had time to be staying at home watching the pot. So these dishes that need to be cooked and have a lot of labor go into them, or time, didn't fall into our fast-paced world, right? Leave it behind. I got this. I can cut this up. I don't even have to do anything about that other preparation. Yeah, Rocky Mountain oysters, Blake just said. Does anybody know what a Rocky Mountain oyster is?
I do.
Tell us.
Say it.
In the anatomically correct way.
I know what it is.
Tell us, Amber.
Crap. It's the bull testicle.
Yeah, there you go.
Damn it. Yeah.
Yep, Rocky Mountain oysters, bull testicles. Yep. I had my first
Sliced and fried, they're awesome.
What's that?
I said sliced and fried, they're awesome.
Yeah, sliced and fried, they are awesome. I had my first Rocky Mountain oyster about a month and a half ago. I never had one before, but I was out in Colorado. Was fortunate enough to have that on the menu. Delicious. Guess what?
Have you had turkey fries?
No, I haven't. I'll have to be on the lookout for it. Eyes also. Eyes. Guess what? The eyes of a fish, delicacy over in parts of Asia. Gelatinous, right? Many parts of the animal that we just can throw out. But really wonderful. And especially in different cultures, they're highly prized and valuable. So, I see Julie saying indigenous Alaskans are masters at using or preserving animal and fish products. Has to do with the perspective of the beneficiaries. Poor people can't afford to be wasteful. Yeah, you're right. You can't waste that. You literally can't throw it out. There's no reason to. It's totally edible. And when prepared in the right way, delectable. So, let's pull up the class page. So here we are, week 7. You've got your research materials. Research materials this week are pretty awesome, all right? Check out the professional cooking, okay? For a good breakdown of variety meats, game, and specialty meats, all right? Now, obviously, game and specialty meats aren't necessarily offal, but as you can see here, look at this. Glandular meats, liver, kidney, sweetbread, brain, muscle meats, heart, tongue, tripe, oxtail. So if you're feeling squirmish about eating basically an organ, right? Hop on over to the muscle meat. Check out one of those instead, a heart, a tongue. Well, you're gonna be checking out liver. But what I'm saying is when you go out to explore your offal world, check those others out, all right? Now, tons of information. It's gonna give you how to prepare things, see? How do you prepare the kidney? You have to take these lobes out, right? You have to take it away from that internal, basically where it's all attached to. It's a little bit hard, okay? All of this is going to give you great information. Here you go, sweetbreads. See this? There's another membrane that has to come off after being blanched. All right, the list goes on and on. How do you prepare your tripe? So check that out. Also, yep, there's this one as well, which is really cool. Now this comes from Canada, but awesome information here. All right, read this. Look at this. Look at this common offal: beef, veal, pork, lamb, chicken. All right, giving you a breakdown of all this stuff. So now this week we've got 2 things, because if we just had you make chicken liver pate with nothing to put it on, what would be the point of that? So we're going to be learning 2 new techniques this week, which is making crackers from scratch and chicken liver pate. So now you're going to see some really important steps here, okay? Chicken livers trimmed to fat and sinew. Chicken livers soaking in milk, then them strained and rinsed. Okay, those are really important steps in preparing liver. Then we go into the good stuff, right? Sauteing the onion, get that going in, onions, livers, and then mixing it all together, and the finished pate. We'll pull up the recipe for that right now. Here we go. You need 1 pound of chicken livers, all right? If you can't find a pound, and you can find a ½ pound, make it a ½ pound. If you're making a ½ pound, guess what you need to adjust? All of your ratios. Split that in 2, just like we were talking about, right? If you're dividing or multiplying a recipe, you have to do that all the way through, okay? Your booze is optional. It definitely adds a wonderful note to it. However, totally optional, because to buy a whole bottle of brandy, unless you're drinking brandy or using it frequently in cooking, can really add to the cost. So omit that if you're not going to find need for that, all right? But otherwise, very straightforward, pretty simple. You should have most of these ingredients from last course. If you need to omit something, remember, these are just a pinch, right? So you've got some wiggle room, right, if you can't find those. However, they really help with creating the overall flavor of the pate. Another important part, packing that mixture into containers and chilling overnight. This helps it firm up. You're adding cream cheese to this, remember, and a healthy amount. 1 pound, right, 16 ounces of chicken livers that are going to get cooked with onions and everything, and then you're adding 6 ounces of cream cheese. So a lot of this smoothness is going to come, and texture is going to come from the cream cheese as well. All right. And then I'm gonna hop on over to this cracker recipe. So, mise en place, dry ingredients, right? Mix it with wet, rolled out into rectangles. Close-up of holes made with fork. This is also called docking. D-O-C-K-I-N-G, docking. Docking is a term that's used in baking and pastry. Docking, by putting in these holes, allows for this, depending upon what type of pastry or dough or cracker, allows for it not to just get all crazy and misshapen. It helps with the cooking process, okay? And it is very important that you dock your dough, okay? Here is the recipe for that. Simple. Again, if you need to cut this in half because you're running low, go for it, okay? Reduce that down to 1.5 cups, all right? Now, another important thing, making sure that you preheat that oven to 450. All right, you want to make sure that that's hot. You want to be going into a hot, nice oven. And then watching it, keeping your eye on this, because bake for 12 to 15 minutes or until golden brown. Note, if the crackers were on the edges, bake faster, take them and transfer them to the cooling rack. Another important fact, make sure you're putting these on a cooling rack, just a regular old rack. If you keep them on the tray, first of all, they're going to continue to cook. Second of all, you're not going to get a crisp cracker. Also, one thing to consider, we are in a very hot, at least depending on where you are, we're in a hot and humid time right now. So remember that factor when you're baking, okay? That if you have a really high humidity going on, you might want to say, hey, I'm going to make these crackers. I'm going to shut down my kitchen. I'm going to put the AC on. I'm going to crank these out, let them dry, store them, and then go back to natural air or whatever you do in your house. But if you can't do that, just know that you do run the risk if you're living in a really humid area that it might not crisp up. Because what do we know about pastries, doughs, and moisture? They collide, right? They're going to affect the integrity and the crispiness of your cracker. Blake, I see a hand up.
When you're talking about the docking with a fork, I have for making pizzas, I have the roller that you roll around the bottom of the pizza to put the holes in it. Can I use that?
Totally. I'll pull up this is more just for somebody who doesn't have a docking instrument. I will pull up, hold on, a visual for anybody who wants to see what this might look like. There we go.
I just have one for doing brick oven pizzas. Yeah. That's the reason I have one, because we used to do those.
Yeah, totally. So it looks like it could be two of these two types, right? This is fairly common. Basically a roller with little prongs on it. But you can see you can use that. It's basically like fork tines. All right. So those will work as well. If you have a cool little utensil, go for it. Otherwise, just this is what we're looking for, right? This is obviously a pie, but that's docking. That's just getting those holes, those punctures. All right. Does anybody have any questions? No? Is anybody excited about offal? I am. I'm kind of jealous at all you guys are doing with us that day.
I'm excited about making the crackers.
Okay, excited about making crackers. Great. We got some yes. All right, awesome. Now, if you drink wine, I would highly suggest getting yourself a nice little bottle of wine and having that with your pate and crackers, because talk about a fun little experiment and experience to share with a friend or a partner or whomever. Get a bottle of wine, get some pate, maybe get some cheese, make a nice little salad on the side. Pretend you're a Frenchie living in Paris, and you're just whipping up pate and having the experience. Enjoy it, embrace it, and have fun with it. Chef, anything else that we needed to talk about regarding assignments?
No, not the assignment. I just wanted to say that we are in week 7, so we're coming up around the time of makeup assignments are due. So if you have any makeup assignments that need to be placed in, please do that as soon as possible, because we are coming up. It's just a couple of weeks now, and then they will close, and then that'll be opportunity missed.
Yes, thank you, Chef, for that reminder.
Yep.
Definitely get any missed assignment in ASAP, all right? Do not wait to the end, because they're going to close sooner than you think. They won't be closing in week 10 this week. It'll be like in between week 9 and 10. So get those in. That gives you've got about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks to get your makeup assignments in. And Amber, don't be scared. You're gonna do great, and it's gonna be fun. In regards to locating chicken livers, a lot of places are gonna sell. If you can't find them fresh, you're gonna be able to find them frozen. If you can't find them at your local store, check an ethnic market. Call around places. Call places. Find out if they have it before you go wasting gas, driving around. Give some calls out there, right? Check what's going on.
I got mine at Walmart.
At Walmart, yeah. See, Walmart, you're gonna find chicken liver there, right? It should be pretty easy. If you can find it out at Walmart, you're pretty good to go. All right. So get those makeup assignments in. Enjoy the pate and the cracker making experience. And if you have questions, please reach out. All right. You do not, there's a question about another core class starting. No, not to my knowledge. I don't believe that you do. It's only the first 6 weeks of this class, and then you switch to you're off for the next weeks, and then you have another one, I believe. But yeah, it would be in you would have gotten a notification from a chef otherwise. So you're clear. And then, yeah, externship, get working on that. Again, you got about, you don't have all the time in the world. So hop on that. And yeah, other than that, have a wonderful week. Read up on offal if you have questions, if you want other recipes. I sent out a bunch of links to other recipes as well to get your mind going. I'll send out an article about how offal is trending on menus. And that's about it. So have a wonderful week, everybody. Take care and keep cooking and keep bringing your best to every assignment that you do. All right. Adios.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care. Bye.